Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is another paid request, this time for Dale. Thank you so much for that, man. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, reviews, topics, reactions, commentaries, re-reviews, rankings lists, whatever, feel free to send it. Either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both things are down below in the info box under each of these videos. And this time is for the 2022 film Day Shift. It's directed by a guy who worked in choreography and stunt work on some of the John Wick films, among others. It's, I believe J.J. Perry is his name. Forgive me if I got his name wrong, because I'm bad with names. But you have Jamie Foxx, Dave Franco, Snoop Dogg, Peter Stormare's in the film for a little bit, and Jamie Foxx is a pool cleaner by day and a vampire hunter by night. Takes place in California, and I gotta say, to start off with, I really enjoyed this film. I thought it was a lot of fun. This is a movie that I liked at the beginning. When I got to the halfway point, I'm thinking, okay, I'm not sure, but I hope it sticks to the landing. And then like 40 minutes afterward, because I liked the first 40 minutes, and then the second half I really grew to love this movie. This was a fun throwback to a 90s action type of movie. I thought Jamie Foxx did a great job. He was a badass. Dave Franco, I enjoyed his character. Not every joke works, to be fair, but I liked their chemistry with each other. Jamie Foxx I liked in Collateral, which I saw that in the theater. Love that film. Even a film like Bait, which no one remembers, that's an Antoine Fuqua film. I even liked that movie with David Boreas. That was from like 2000. I do like Jamie Foxx, and like I say, I think he's better here as a vampire hunter than whatever the fuck they're going to do with that new Blade movie. Dave Franco, he was in 21-22 Jump Street. He was in, I believe, The First Neighbors. He's been in a few other stuff. Brother of James Franco. I do think he's a capable comedic actor. He plays the nerdy sidekick guy who works with the union, has a tag along with Jamie Foxx's character. I do like the twist they do with his character. I thought that was kind of fun and refreshing. When the action scenes happen, I looked at this movie as an action movie first. And if the comedy doesn't work 100%, the action does. The way it opened, it was cool, it was exciting. I'll get to that in the spoilers. Has great choreography. I don't know why I keep pounding my bed each time I make a point. I'm like, because I'm excited, because this is easily in my top 5 favorites of the year. And people like shitting on this film. Of course they are. Sorry it's not Prey. Fuck Prey. This is way better than Prey. This actually has action scenes worth of shit. Now I will say the villain in this movie sucks. No pun intended. But there's an action scene with Jamie Foxx, Dave Franco, Scott Adkins, and this other guy that is a real standout. And that, I will give more than spoilers. That had me smiling. There's a song in the third act that's used, which I love this song. And in wrestling they go, you popped. I popped when I heard this song. And it's used in an action scene. It's a song from a 90s action movie classic, from the end credits. End credits of a 90s action film classic, I'll say that. I mean, it was done for other stuff, but I remember most from that movie. And when I heard that, I went, oh shit. Snoop Dogg has a good charm to him. Like I said, Jamie Foxx is badass. It has a pretty good car chase in it. shotgun fun, a lot of good shotgun fun, which is my kind of fun. There is a decent amount of humor that did work for me. There's even a few references, or at least one in particular, to the Lost Boys. I really loved this movie. Again, my nitpicks are the female villain was pretty weak. Didn't care for the actress. She was a bit too chatty. And not really big on her. I wish there was a different person as the villain. Whether male or female, I don't care. But as I said, so not all times the humor worked, but I was still enjoying the banter type between Dave Franco and Jamie Foxx. And I might say this might be the best Netflix film I've seen since Bright. I would put Bright above this, because I actually like Bright. But this is just behind it. I did like Extraction, but I would say I put this above Extraction, honestly. Extraction maybe technically has more action, but I liked the story, and I liked... It is rated R, so it doesn't suffer from the gray man. I know a friend of mine said there was a lot of CGI. I didn't notice a lot of CGI. Maybe some of the blood stuff, but it didn't bother me in this one compared to others. So I noticed a lot less CGI here compared to like the Gray Man, which I did like the Gray Man, and I really like Bullet Train, but I would say those two have more CGI than this. And Bullet Train was in theaters. The Gray Man was on Netflix. And I'm going to get more into spoilers, starting now. Starting now, spoilers. I like the beginning of the film, where, like I said, I like Jamie Foxx, I like his attitude, I like his presence. I think he makes for a good, badass lead. There's no agenda bullshit, there's no fucking any of that annoying crap of nowadays. I like this cool idea they did where they got contortionists to play the vampires. So when the vampires get shot, they'll fall into these weird type of poses. So if they get shot, they do a backflip and they fall like this, they fall like that, or during like they're kind of bendy like this during fight scenes, like the opening where Jamie Foxx is a pool cleaner, but then he goes in with a shotgun and you realize this old lady is a vampire. And it's a pretty good choreographed type of fight. I understand what's going on. I understand the geography. Do that with your old ass. Especially this cool mirror gag where he's fighting the vampire and the camera turns and you see the mirror, and because it's a vampire, you just see the clothes on Jamie Foxx's back as he's fighting it. I thought that was a very clever, cool touch. That's the way of utilizing visual effects well. Thought that was a clever... Let's say it's never been done before. We've seen vampires in front of the mirror, but during this action scene, I thought that was a nice touch. That was a clever touch. Kills the vampire. I like the idea of having this razor wire as like a backup. So if vampires come at him, gets the head. As Jamie Foxx goes, works every time. It's like a backup. He has this razor wire. Just the vampires are moving so fast, if they don't see the wire, they get their head cut off by it. And they set it up to bring it back later. That's the thing. You set something up to pay it off later. Not every film does that. Now, the vampire lady, the bad guy, this real estate lady, I think she was an actress in the Jacob's Ladder remake. I don't know if it was the way she was written or if it was the actress. Because maybe the actress just did not do anything for me. Well, I know she didn't do anything for me. She was just, again, chatty, not intimidating, not scary, doesn't have a presence to it. Just did not like her at all. And Yet we've seen so many vampire films. I just want a fun action movie, and that's what this is. But there's still a couple of cool little details. I like the detail of each time you kill a vampire, Jamie Foxx has to do this ritual, and you see like all his stars in the shower. But he's got this yellow powder thing he's got to put on so that the vampires can't find him. I like the idea that you take the fangs as trophies, but not just as trophies, but you sell them to get money. I like the idea that you sell the fangs to get money. I've never seen that done before. With how many if there is, I don't remember it, but I haven't seen that done before. I thought that was a cool little touch as well. It's like you go to a pawn shop and they're checking it, like checking diamonds, but it's the fangs and how old the vampire is. And with Jamie Foxx, he's separated from his ex-wife. That's why it's his ex. He loves his daughter. Daughter loves him. He gets late because of what's he doing, so he's late to pick her up. The mom is thinking of moving her and the kid to another location. Jamie Foxx doesn't want to lose them, especially not the daughter. The ex goes, well, it takes this amount of money for us to stay here. And we've seen this setup type of thing before. Family's going to move. I need to keep them to stay. I need this amount of money so that they stay. So it's not the most original pitch, but you know what? It's a pitch I need to get behind. And easy way to help me root for the character. As well as, again, you get a good actor like Jamie Foxx portraying it. Peter Stormare is the guy who runs the pawn shop. Snoop Dogg is his other vampire hunter who's very close friends with Jamie Foxx, and Jamie Foxx gets his help to get him back into the Union, which he was kicked out of, because apparently, like at one point, he had to fight a vampire, but it was that's to like a kid's birthday party. I wish they would have shown that, but I guess, they didn't think of it. I like Snoop Dogg did a good job. I mean, he was like a cowboy type of vampire, and he worked. He had his Snoop charm to it. And I didn't. Not every line made me laugh. I mean, like, he's going to get yogurt with his kid, and hey, is there you have any Black History Month discounts? There's a lame line here and there, but on the flip side, there's a fun bit where, like I said the spoilers, Peter Stormare is going to sell he's going to buy these for cheap. So, well, there's that. And Jamie Foxx looks down and this is Jordans. So he's got to sell his Jordans in order to make some money. Or the union rep guy's asking, why should I take you back? Well, I've done this, I've done that. I've had minimal white women. Like, the way he said that, I thought was a fun, wise-ass moment. Well, you don't work the day shift. Oh, come on, man, this is bullshit. There's no money in that. Because it's more dangerous to hunt at night. More risk, more reward. At the daytime, less risk, less reward. But that's what he gets, and he gets his rep, played by Dave Franco, who wears, as Jamie Foxx puts it, well, I think even Dave Franco says, oh, I wear this, it's a summery suit. What? Yeah, it's for the summer suit. Now, this setup, and then find out that the lead vampire, the lady that died at the beginning was our head vampire's daughter. And that's why she wants revenge on Jamie Foxx. And later in the film kidnaps the wife and daughter, and Jamie Foxx and group have to get them back. So maybe it doesn't change the game in terms of 100% originality. That stuff I mentioned is about 40 minutes. But at least even then, there's still a fun action scene. Yes, there's a bit to get there, but I didn't feel it because, I mean, it had a pretty high budget, so it is a slick-looking movie. And I thought Jamie Foxx, Dave Franco worked well together. And I said these little things here and there with Snoop Dogg and the fang teeth, like, all that was fun to watch. Little pieces of world building. I didn't. Don't like the lead villain. Even the guy who's like the union rep boss, didn't care for him either. I thought he was kind of too goofy. So I would say those two are my two least favorite things. I think those are the two worst things in the movie. Is the female vampire bad guy and the guy who's this union rep boss. Let's try to get Dave Franco to follow Jamie Foxx. So what rules does he break so we could get him out and fire him? Like, I didn't care about that union guy. I didn't care about the vampire. But thankfully, most of the time is on Jamie and Dave Franco. And I like the build-up, but at 40 minutes in, man, you get this bowling alley shootout with a shotgun. Always love the shotgun fun. Some good falls. Dave Franco, I didn't mind this joke because I like the way he delivered it. What happened to you? Fuck, man! What did he say? The way he worded it. This is what made me laugh. I just pissed my favorite fucking suit. And later on, Jamie's like, "Oh yeah, it happens to everybody. Did it happen to you? Oh no, but yeah, it happens to everybody." And then you have another scene which is a standout, and it's with these two brothers called the Nazamian Brothers. It's Scott Adkins, and I don't know who the other guy is. But those two need their own movie. It's one great scene. I wish they were in it more, but it's definitely a highlight. And those two, Jamie Foxx, Dave Franco, go into this place, and they find out it's a hive. There's a shitload of them, and they're coming out of the woodwork. And then Jamie Foxx having shotgun fun. Dave Franco's trying to do stuff. And Scott Adkins' buddy are just kicking ass. Scott Adkins using a sword. And, kicking heads off. Stabbing them. The other guy, cutting heads off. They're working together. One's pushing the other vampire's head through the other sword. I swear there's a point where Scott gets like these nunchucks and use a little bit of it. He's got like the cyborg, it's not just cyborg, other movies, the knife in the shoes, cutting them up, doing great moves. You have this cool bullet trick where, as bullshit as it is, it's over the top fun, and he does his flip and catches the bullet. I'm sitting there watching this with a smile on my face, go, okay, yeah. I was liking the film. You've definitely got my attention now. Awesome scene. And then you did like a good car chase. Really nice practical stunt work during that car chase. Not a lot of firefight because he's got the kid with him, but at the same time, the way he maneuvers, and that's the way how you use a couple drone shots, Michael Bay. Not every 5 milliseconds. There's a little bit here and there, but not to the point of being nauseous and tiresome. So then the kid and wife are caught. She has gotten Dave Franco bitten, and Jamie Foxx has to cut his head off. But then they do explain it. At times they kind of rush the explanation. There's an Uber vamp. And I guess with an Uber vamp, you have to have a specific way of killing them. And that's why like cutting off Dave Franco's head didn't work. But I guess what I mean by explanation is why this Uber vamp thing makes it so that some vampires are good guys and some are bad guys. Like there's another vampire who's a female and she's pretty much a good guy or good person, good girl. Dave Franco, after that initial bit, he becomes a good vampire. I don't remember the concrete reason as to why they became good vampires. Does that mean everybody has a choice if they're uber vamp to be good or bad? I, they might have explained the film, but if they did, I think they kind of rushed through that, and I think that could have been a bit more clear, at least to me. Okay, maybe I just missed it, and I apologize, it's my fault, but I did like the bit. I thought it was fun. It remind me of an older movie where the head's cut off, and Dave Franco's trying to find it and trying to put it back on his body, and the way Jamie Foxx looks, like, what the fuck? And that's where now Dave Franco's a vampire, and gets with this neighbor where Jamie Foxx lives. She's a female vampire. The three of them are going to go in. I'm like, this is a better Blade Trinity than fucking Blade Trinity. And then before that, there's some fun stuff. Like when the female good vampire is explaining, and there's a bit like she lights her finger for a cigarette, and Jamie Foxx is like, oh yeah, okay, you just don't light your finger on fire, huh? Like that kind of aside did make me chuckle. And when the three of them gear up and they're getting ready for battle, and then this big gun battle happens, where Dave Franco and her, because of vampire abilities, they're able. There's a point where Dave Franco like rips off an arm and oh shit, and then smacks the guy with his own arm. And Jamie Foxx is doing shotgun. The music playing is Ice-T's Body Count. Body counts in the house, body count. Body counts in the house. Which is from the end of Universal Soldier. That was the 90s film I was referencing before. At the end of Universal Soldier, with John Claude Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren, you have that song. Body count, body count, body count, body count. Body count in the house, body count. Body counts in the house. Having that used for an action scene, I thought was really fucking awesome. And then on top of that, Snoop Dogg comes in. And there's a bit that just, the last time, what it reminded me of is Terry Crews in The Expendables. I will say, that's one scene I can understand the CGI critique. But the idea and the fun of it, and I was still enjoying the scene with a smile on my face. Snoop Dogg, more like a cowboy, gets a fucking minigun. And he does it twice. Not once, but twice. Because he does it in another room, too. And that was exciting. And then they get machine guns. I'm like, yes, okay. This is, okay, this movie's for me. This is my kind of movie. And then you have some stuff going on. Dave Franco and the girl are fighting this other vampire. Jamie Foxx trying to deal with the headliner, getting his ass kicked, but at the end of the day, uses his head. And I liked seeing the callback. I liked the way he was shot, where he closes his eyes, then he opens. He has this. I like the look on Jamie Foxx's face, like. I just like his look. And then with a twist, her head comes off. I guess she's dead, but Dave Franco isn't, is because Dave Franco got his head cut off, but he didn't die. He put his head back on. But here she did get her head cut off, and she remained dead. Is it because he held it away from the body for too long, or is it because he shot, but I thought she caught her with the bullet, but maybe it went through her and she caught it from the other side? I can't remember. I know they said in detail about there's a specific way you have to kill some of these vampires. I forget what it is, though. But I like the wire trap. I like that razor wire trap. I thought that's a good, fun bit of a motif for Jamie Foxx's character. They go out. And then there's a scene where previously you think Snoop Dogg is dead. Because he got bit. He has this explosion. But then he comes out of a sewer. And the last line he says is the last line from the Lost Boys. L.A. All the damn vampires. I guess he's a vampire, but he's going to be a vampire for good as well, like Dave Franco and the girl. Because he did get bit. I even didn't mind the song at the end. I thought it worked well. And yeah, I thought this was a lot of fun. I liked the little motifs it added to the vampire lore. I liked the action. As an action film, it worked very much. Great choreography. A lot of fun. The Scott Adkins bit, the body count in the house bit, the opening bit. Jamie Foxx, Dave Franco, I thought the chemistry worked well together. The villain, I wish she could have been improved. The union rep boss, he was annoying. He wasn't funny. He was just irritating. Not every joke worked, but you know what? Like I said, this was a lot of fun. It was still a breath of fresh air. This is the type of movie that I would have seen like in the 90s. Just a fun popcorn escapism movie. And the fact that people are giving this shit, sometimes it makes me go, maybe people don't want the good old days back. They don't. I really don't. I think there's a lot of people that do say it and then they really don't. Because there's still the same people that say 80s movies are cheesy and campy. But then they're they're so great, they're so fantastic, they need to come back. Because it's the hip thing to say. I don't have this in the back because it's the hip thing to do. No, it's because I genuinely love that film. I love Aliens. I got the poster over there. I changed it up with Cobra. I sincerely love that movie there. Those are my kind of movies. Sincerely enjoying those type of movies. And I'm not going to say Day Shift is up there with Blade and Blade 2. And I honestly would say, and people don't get mad at me for this, I would put this above John Carpenter's Vampires. I like John Carpenter's Vampires. James Woods nails that role. But this definitely has better action. Because I like Vampires. I think that's a good John Carpenter film. But the action there, especially the finale, the third act, I should say. If that third act was anywhere like this third act, I think you really could have made it work. Even better. So, as much as like John Carpenter's Vampires, I actually would put this above it. Because, like I said, I do think that... Honestly, I would say I like Dave Franco here more than Baldwin. And I didn't mind him. Love James Woods in that movie, as I like Jamie Foxx. And I'm an action guy. I'm an action junkie guy. I'll say John Carpenter's film works better on a practical effects level and gore. Like the guy that gets sliced in half. This action choreography, and that's something I'm a very big sucker for. Now, hey, that may change by just opinions. I'll still enjoy the film, but the ranking, that could change in a year or so. But as of right now, that's how much I really liked the movie. So with that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.